Let's go. Let's freaking go. What a 12 hours or so in news. Let me know if my microphone's coming through good because I had it looked like a few issues in a video earlier. So just make sure, give me a thumbs up or whatever. Give me the thumbs up and the likes, by the way. Let me do that off the top right now. As soon as you tune in, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Anyhow, it's been a crazy 12 hours or so in news in the sports world and sports adjacent world. But let me start with the topic at hand. I know the topic most of you are in here for. DeWanna Bonner going to the Indiana Fever. Look, I had a feeling this might happen. I had a feeling it might happen because the when all this went down and Alyssa Thomas goes to the Mercury, right? We didn't hear anything about DeWanna Bonner. And one would think if she was going to join Thomas with the Mercury, it would be in rapid succession. Thomas, Bonner, bang, bang, right away. And that didn't happen. And then there's just this perfect basketball fit that you have in Indiana. And I get it. Like, people online like to make a big deal about what people say on Twitter or X. It goes to show you, I've said this a billion times to y'all, internet is not real life. Now, I think the media did a horrible job, just an absolutely horrendous job, amplifying social media commentary as if it was the broad reaction of what last WNBA season was about, when really last WNBA season was about record ratings and attendance and the sport being put on the map. That's what it was about, not about like a couple, a small percentage of people saying bullshit online. And I think some WNBA players did a very poor job as well, amplifying that, including Thomas during the playoffs. But there are also pros. DeWanna Bonner is a pro. She's been in the league. She's a vet. She knows what it takes to win. She's being recruited by her old coach. She's got relationships with people there. And they're telling her, I'm sure, look what we can offer you. Right? Like, you're exactly what we need. And now DeWanna Bonner slides into that team. And the Fever are all of a sudden big, tough, and dangerous everywhere. Because Natasha Howard can really rim run and get out in transition. Bonner can beat you in multiple ways, spread the floor. But then also think about what that offers you defensively now. Because when you had Caitlin and Kelsey just together in the backcourt, not exactly a juggernaut of defense back there. But you then put Howard and Bonner flanking them, all of a sudden you're in business with the pieces that go around them, including Lexi Hull and Sophie Cunningham. Because Sophie Cunningham is a 3-and-D wing also, right? Like another player who could shoot the ball and play defense. And then Lexi doesn't have that much size, but certainly makes up for that with energy and effort. And the amount of lineup alterations they can do as a result is bananas. Because everyone who they're going to put into the game can either shoot or score, right? Like in their main rotation. They're not going to put anybody in who can't either shoot, like Hull when she's open, right? Cunningham, or score. Bonner, Howard, Mitchell, shoot and score. Boston. And then obviously Clark is the engine that drives it. And this new Fever regime that came in the door, they came in meaning business. And they realized, like, this is not a normal opportunity that they have here. This is, you only get this crack once. There's only going to be this Caitlin Clark phenomenon one time. So you have to maximize it. And as I've said, the goal should not be championship. The goal should be dynasty. I mean, you got to start that with a championship. But it's a chance to be a dynasty here. Because, there was so much nonsense and BS about Caitlin Clark that didn't focus on the fact that she's who she is, because she's, was the best player in the history of college basketball and is well on her way to becoming the best player in the history of the WNBA if she can continue this trajectory. I mean, that's, especially somebody who can make everybody better. And then when you're also talking about like, oh, who would want to go play for the Fever? Who would want to go play for the Fever? Why would you even go there? I don't know. Maybe because you're going to get more attention. Maybe because you're going to get more endorsements. Maybe because you're going to get more wins. Could be one of those things. Maybe it's because you will play in front of a sold out crowd, either home or the road every time. Could be that. Go look at Aaliyah Boston's all-star totals this year versus last year. Go look at, the just Kelsey Mitchell's name recognition and value. Bananas. Versus where it was the rest of her career. And I know there's some other moves. Jaylen Brown, I don't know too much about. I'd have to look in. I think she came in now in the Cunningham trade from Dallas. Averaged 2.6 points per game last year. Played very limited minutes. Shot the ball well. And then the Fever also waive Grace Berger in the process. Look, I don't think Berger did that much for the team. And I trust the front office in that regard. I mean, I know a lot of the fans crashed out about Celeste Taylor last year, and I never understood that. It's not like she went and did anything else since. But, the Fever are loading up. And Bonner is a perfect fit. To me right now, the starting lineup has got to be Clark, Mitchell, Bonner, Howard, Boston, with Cunningham and Lexi coming off together to wreak havoc. Right? Like, imagine those two coming in and just like junking up the game, flanking Clark with two shooters. I mean, and Bonner, if you recall in the series, remember it was that game when Stephanie White decided to put DeWanna Bonner on Caitlin Clark, made a difference. And Stephanie White clearly familiar with Bonner and vice versa. So this gives them just another, it's like they got chess pieces now. They can play big, they can play small. And they're tougher. That's another thing that probably needs to be emphasized is how much tougher Indiana just got. This was not a tough team before. They were a fun team. They were a fun team. They were a electric team, a potent team. Now they're a tough team too, and a defensive team. I'll get to your guys' comments in just a minute. Obviously, super chats, member chats are going to get read first. Please like and subscribe. All those good things. Want to get to a couple other topics real quick just because they're big enough to interject into the regularly scheduled programming. That NBA trade last night is got to be the craziest trade. That's got to be the craziest trade in the history of trades from like what the hell standpoint, WTF standpoint. Because I don't know. I think it was after midnight that came out. And somebody texted me. I was like, what? No, yeah, whatever. I got to go check this. And then I see the first tweet I see is from Shams. It was him quoting his original tweet going, "This is real. The Lakers have traded for Luka Doncic, Anthony Davis going to Dallas." And for an NBA season that's been in the mud a little bit, talk about that injection of life. They were trying to get Caitlin Clark for the NBA All-Star three-point contest. Now they've got the headlines that they were looking for. My goodness, what a blockbuster. I mean, it's crazy. First of all, let me say from the Dallas point of view, clearly something was going on behind the scenes with Dallas and Doncic, right? Like, I mean, they basically put out that they thought he was out of shape and maybe commitment and defense and the like. And I'm guessing he probably told them he wasn't keen on re-signing. I don't know. But regardless, something was going on behind the scenes there, number one, for this to go down. Number two, I do think people are underrating Anthony Davis a little bit in this deal. Anthony Davis, he was awesome on Team USA, and he's a terrific defensive player, and I think he gets a lot of flack because he appears to be frail. Though AD actually, it's just every time he gets a minor injury, it looks like it's the worst thing in the world. Anthony Davis, I don't think he's missed as many games as people make it out to be. Like when you look at his career profile, he played in 76 games last year, 54 the year before that. One of those is a COVID season the 2 years prior to that, so there was a shorter game, but then 62, 56, 75, 75. So nothing out of the ordinary. AD actually plays a decent amount. You throw him over there in Dallas, and you got Kyrie there. We'll see what they do. If I'm Dallas, I might look at trading for Jimmy Butler right now, to be honest with you. Why not? Roll the dice. But from the Lakers side of things, it's almost insane how they can go from one era to the next. It keeps happening when they wind up with a mega superstar like Luka Doncic. And I see people already saying just one first-round pick for Luka. They got Anthony Davis, y'all. What do you think Anthony Davis is worth? He's worth multiple first-round picks. I said this with the Fever. When the Fever traded the 8th pick, everyone's like, they traded the 8th. And when the Sparks traded the 2nd, they traded the pick. Picks are potential. Players are proven. You do everything to get a pick to land a Kelsey Plum. You do everything to get a pick to land an Anthony Davis. I mean, what are the odds any of those picks, are better than Anthony Davis? So small. What are the odds that pick in the draft is better than Kelsey Plum? So small. I mean, if you're a team like the Nets and you're totally rebuilding for the future, yeah, then you want to flip for as many draft picks as possible. But if you're trying to contend in the space, basically they're saying Davis and Luka are close to equal players. Luka's worth a little bit more. And that's probably true. I mean, Davis is only a notch below Luka. He's just older. So I don't think that's as wild as people are making it out to be honest. Well, the trade is wild, but the draft pick part of it. Then there's the Luka and LeBron fit in the time being. Look, they do a lot of the same things, but they're both so gifted as the way they see the floor and, as passers that it could work. Defensively, I think it's going to be tough for the Lakers with Reeves and Luka and LeBron at his age. That's going to be tough, but just an absolutely bonkers bananas move. You couldn't believe it was real. And then finally, there was also the Royal Rumble last night for my wrestling fans in the house, which I think could go down as the greatest Royal Rumble in history. I mean, what a night into morning. And just the pacing of that match, I thought was so awesome. The moment where you had Roman Reigns and CM Punk and John Cena all in there together, and then Seth Rollins came out, and then you had the Roman Reigns Seth Rollins confrontation, mixing CM Punk into that. It calls back to, of course, the Shield, which was the group with Rollins and Roman, and it calls back to last WrestleMania because Rollins may have cost Reigns his long title run against Cody Rhodes. You throw CM Punk's history with Rollins in there, and maybe you got a WrestleMania triple threat match. And then it appears that John Cena was going to win. I mean, he was the favorite. But Jey Uso wins instead after just losing to Gunther. A legitimate surprise. It's hard to catch wrestling fans by surprise like that. And it did. And it was with a fan favorite. I went to Fanatics Fest in New York at the Javits Center. And it was the day Jey Uso was going to be there. So it's biased. The crowd's biased because they're going to be there for Jey Uso. But this is not just a wrestling event. It's a sports-wide event. I swear 80% of the people were wearing Yeet merchandise. And the crowd has chosen him. It's very Kofi Kingston or Daniel Bryan-esque. And I think that will be the defining moment of his career, winning the Royal Rumble last night. All right, that's what I got to say about those topics. Time to get to you all. Again, super chats, member chats will get read first. Please like, subscribe, all of those good things. Giving you a little Sunday matinee action here, considering the news. I know Caitlin Clark is getting honored today. Kate Martin in the house. for the jersey retirement. So there's that. Look at here's a little footage of Kate Martin rolling up to the game. Maybe we'll get Caitlin's first comments on the free agency moves by the Fever. There's Kate in the house. Iowa honoring Caitlin Clark today. All right, let's get to Kevin Zwicker, all in the super chats. Fever aren't playing. Still, go Sparks. Look, I love the move the Sparks made with Kelsey Plum. I said that from the beginning. I don't understand, what people think. I think Kelsey Plum will thrive with a bigger share of the offense. I think she's a star, which helps them. And I think she will also lead the Sparks to the playoffs and the like. I mean, the odds the number 2 pick in the draft get the Sparks more than Kelsey Plum can offer are very, very slim. Kevin says Mavs fumbled Nash, Brunson, and Luka. Unreal. That's true. Dallas Wings got Melissa Smith, though. So there's that. And then let Kevin promote his channel as well, the Fast Count. We went live after the Rumble. I was on with him last night. So those are some of the super chats. Again, super chats, member chats get read first here on this channel. My biggest fan is back. What up? They were in Vegas. And who do I know that was in Vegas recently? Denise was in Vegas. Denise Salcedo was in Vegas, but I do not believe she is masquerading as my biggest fan. Rocket 49 says stupid. What is stupid? Me or the move? Because I think the Fever absolutely nailed. Like there is no way that from a basketball standpoint you could be against this move for the Fever. Like I don't see it. I don't know how. It's not possible. If you're judging on soap opera theatrics, whatever, maybe. I think some Fever fans have like lingering effects of the Melissa Smith, Dejanay Carrington drama. And this is not the same thing. Even if they're playing the Mercury, it's not even close to the same thing. DeWanna Bonner is a pro, a proven pro. Melissa Smith played terribly and wasn't always in the right focus level, let's say. Didn't always have the right focus on the floor and off. This is a different situation. And Dejanay Carrington likes to stir up drama. Alyssa Thomas may have made that one comment, but she doesn't just like to stir up drama. It's not the same personality types. AJ says dynasty is one word that will never be used when describing LeBron's career. That's why he will never be considered one of the greats. In fact, I go the opposite. I have famously dubbed LeBron a one-man dynasty. In fact, he's the only one-man dynasty in the history of the sport, where whatever team he was on, would go to the finals. LeBron, in fact, went to 9 out of 10 WNBA finals with 3 different teams. 9 out of 10. 4 in a row with Miami, Cleveland, and then got back there with the Lakers. So no player in the history of the sport will ever do that again. And there you have it, the one-man dynasty, LeBron James, the GOAT. How'd that turn out for you, AJ? Yeah, Mike Hall says, wasn't expecting this. I don't know enough to say this is a bad thing. Well, it's not a bad thing, Mike. It's a great thing. There's no way. Like, guys, if you're an Indiana Fever fan, you should be celebrating today. You should be running laps around your house or your apartment, pumping your fist in the air. this is a home run. There is no they hit a home run in the offseason. Uh, I said they didn't need to hit a home run, they just needed to get on base. Well, they cleared the bases. Chris Ward says, after Bonner pickup, looks like KK was playing chess with everyone else playing checkers. Love Howard and love Sophie pickup. Who is KK? You mean Cece? Or are you talking about Kelly? Oh, Kelly Crosscup is what you're saying. I'm sorry. Kelly Crosscup, the president of the Fever, who came in. Remember, they came in and immediately they were like, "See ya, Christy Sides. See ya, deuces." Whole new front office, whole new state of affairs and business, and they mean business. They mean business, no question. So I agree with you, Chris Ward. Thank you for the comment. And sorry, it took me a second to pick that up. Should have. I just have seen her name written out, not abbreviated. Anthony Giuliano Ajit. Yeah, Brown. I read you the stat profile. I mean, look, it's hard to keep up with every player in the league and all of their history when they don't play that much. She only averaged 10 minutes a game on a very bad Wings team last year, but she did shoot 48% from the floor and 50% from three in those limited minutes. Let me look if I could see the shot totals there to see if, yeah, so she took 12 threes and hit 6 of them. And she took 31 shots and hit 15 of them. So in the limited minutes, she shot the ball well. But I'm going to have to 6'1" guard. Perhaps, bolstering a little depth in the backcourt. Lord Schaefer says, sad to see about Grace Berger, but chips are on their way. I mean, yeah, look, no offense. I just have no attachment to Grace Berger on the team. She barely played. Barely played. And obviously, this front office has earned a degree of trust. Hannah says, go Fever. Yeah, I believe Bonner is going to start at small forward. I think the starting lineup will be Clark, Mitchell, Bonner, Howard, Boston. Bonner and Caitlin played great together in the All-Star game, says Nathan Payne. Yeah, I mean, look, Bonner's a baller. She's a hooper. What up, Rihala? Ghost of Geralta says they got to keep Dantas. She's a big body who can drain threes, very useful for set plays. I mean, yeah, I could see her. Look, she's not good enough to play major minutes. She's not quick enough out on the floor. But certainly an end of the bench player and a specific type of player that can be used for those kind of matchups. Charles Davis says Kelsey Mitchell and AB are dynamic. Lisa says they might be grabbing a point guard with the 19th pick. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, look, the I think at that point, it's a hold on one second, guys. All right. Again, super chats and member chats will get read first. Trying to sort through the comments. Y'all, there are a lot of them, which is a great thing. Good problem to have. Of course. Very good problem to have, but makes it hard for me to get to everybody's. I do my best to make sure I represent everybody that's in here and give you guys a voice on the show. I'm pretty sure Berger was waived, Peggy. I think that's an official transaction. Double check. Yes. Matt Monroe. This was a terrible offseason for the Fever. Bonner is 37 going on 38. Howard is 33 going on 34. And Sophie is trash. This is YouTube gaslighting. False. First of all, everybody's signing one-year contracts right now. Number one. So who cares about their age? Why is that relevant in this regard? You're trying to build the best team you can right now. Sophie Cunningham is not trash. She can shoot the ball. She can defend. And she's tenacious. Howard, 33 going on 34. Not that old. That's not ancient. She can still play. She just played great overseas. She brings exactly what they need. And they need veteran leadership. And Bonner was just on a team that eliminated the Indiana Fever at her age. So I completely and utterly disagree. I'm not gaslighting anyone. I'm giving them my honest opinion. And my honest opinion is that the Fever absolutely flexed in free agency. Why can't we believe they waived Grace? What did she do? No offense. I'm not trying to be a jerk, but what did she do? Yeah, I mean, that Katie Lou Samuelson contract is bonkers. Hoops for Life says, how can you say Sophie is trash? She's a role player with a high motor and could shoot threes better than our bench players and play D. Definitely a good pickup. Agree. Nothing much says, sorry, what does getting waived mean for Berger? It means she is no longer on the team and is free to pursue opportunities elsewhere. Somebody else should be able to pick her up if they so choose. This is a very good comment from Theodore Schultz. Would you have ever thought in your career that on a day where Luka gets traded to the Lakers, you would open up talking about DB and the Fever? No. But what the Fever and the WNBA and women's basketball have done for my life and career is amazing. And it's where my focus is, in the realm of hoops. So yeah, I wouldn't have. I mean, and I've said that many times about even just the general area of focus, but it is a wild idea, right? Like the most shocking trade in the history of the NBA. And I am more dialed into a WNBA free agency signing. But John Brady makes another excellent point here. I think for the rest of the WNBA season, there's like they needed something new and different. And they got that with this. They got that from this. So let me see where we're at in these chats here. Michael Corey says, I am new and hit all buttons. Nice job. Thank you and welcome. Appreciate that. Like, subscribe, comment, all those buttons, please. Super chats, memberships appreciated, not required. Seaweeda says, Tiffany Hayes is the one free agent left that fits the Fever. That makes some sense. For sure. I don't know if they have any more money, though. They can't have any more money. But If you did notice, I pointed out the other day that they still had basically a max slot, right? And I think it was yesterday. I sent this tweet in Target yesterday. I was in Target with my kids and I was just thinking out loud. But some of the what I presented earlier today on this show, earlier on this program, and feels like DeWanna Bonner is the last big domino. I'd have Mercury as the favorite with the Fever as the sleeper. And then this person wrote, Bonner will never sign with the Fever. She'd rather retire. And I got a bunch of stuff like that. Turns out my speculation been on point this offseason. People try to give me a hard time on Kelsey Plum. Nailed that one. People preemptively try to give me a hard time on this one. Nailed that one too. 2 for 2. Sally Gainey says Fever have ensured that Caitlyn won't have the same treatment of last season. Yeah, she's got enforcements now. She's got backup for sure. Brett Atwood says, I love what Hayes is doing in Unrivaled, like getting Angel tossed from the game. By the way, Angel Reese fans came at me yesterday. Like, some of the people in the WNBA, not just Angel Reese fans, but in the WNBA space, are the softest, most sensitive fans I've ever seen in my life. Like, I'm sorry. You're allowed to cover stories. It's fine. I do my absolute best to not I want you to be interested. So do I hype them? Yeah. Do I, put exclamation points? Yes, because I'm excited and covering what I'm covering. I want you to be excited to hear me cover what I'm covering. But I do my very best to not over sensationalize or misrepresent the content. But when a topic is a topic, it's a topic. Sorry. And, basketball criticisms are fair game. Things that players say about other players that are picked up on microphones are fair game. People getting tossed from a game are fair game, especially when it's not historic in the sense of it meaning anything, but historic in the sense of it's the first time it happened in history. Angela Z23 says, do we know who left the Fever besides Smith? Berger. I think that's it. Erica Wheeler is going to be gone, almost assuredly. But I think that's it. But, losing Smith is addition by subtraction. Chris Ward adds Sedona Prince at 19th for a big. I'm not mad at it. I was thinking of Tina Charles, as a backup for the free agency period here. Marlene with the super sticker. Thank you, Marlene. I appreciate that very much. Amy Rockhold says, why haven't they announced Natasha Howard yet on the Indiana Fever page? I don't know, but I wouldn't worry about it. Maybe they have like an order of operations they have to go in to make these deals official, to work the cap. That could be my guess. I haven't even checked to see what they announced or didn't announce, but that's done. Don't worry about it. Element Gold says roster building is always fun to watch, but my goodness, with only 12 spots, it feels like they made 20 moves. Yeah, Jaylen Brown might be the backup point guard now. That's true too. Erica Wheeler is now working on a podcast. We got a new member, Lisa Diaz. Thank you, Lisa. Lisa and I correspond on Facebook. She sends me chats and messages on Facebook. So glad to have you over here officially in that capacity. Making my way through these comments, y'all. I won't stay on too long today, but I figured it was worth going live. MJ Sabi says, Fever fans have this irrational desire to have every player that sides didn't play be a future Hall of Fame player. That's why the senseless love for Celeste, Taylor, and Grace. That makes sense. I think that's about spot on. I do think that's about spot on. But look, Christy Sides is not the worst coach in the history of basketball. She knows what she's looking at. She's just not as good as Stephanie White. And And I think it was a good move, making that switch, obviously. But she didn't just show up in the gym. She'd seen players before, and Taylor didn't do anything with the Mercury from what I've seen. So I just Berger, when she played for the Fever, did not impress me. So I am certainly I wish the best for both of them. Don't get me wrong, but I ain't mad. I'm not sad. I'm not crying about it. J Rod says from day one, Luka has showed he cannot stay in shape. He's a very good basketball player, but if they give you all the money, you don't have the discipline to at least stay in decent shape. That's why he's always hurt. Look, yeah, I mean, look, it's fair, but LeBron will get him in shape, and he's a hell of a talent. Chris Ward, a new member. Thank you, Chris, for your chats and your membership today. Lisa says, new member Lisa, I felt positive for Bonner signing because of Steph White. Sunday afternoon, we got a good crowd in here, guys. Caitlin Clark's jersey retirement start yet? I know Asia. I saw Asia getting emotional. It looks like Stephanie White is at the game too. Yeah, Caitlin is speaking right now, by the way. She just spoke on the moves. Let me find that for you. Sorry. Not trying to divert my attention, just trying to find you this audio so I can play it for you in real time. Here is what Caitlin Clark had to say about the Fever's moves in free.
They're one helping us. I'm excited. Obviously, we made some great moves. I think, Kelly and Amber and the whole, Fever organization are, they're one helping us win now. And I think that's really important. I think they're putting really good pieces together that are going to, complement each other really, really well. And then obviously Steph taking over as head coach for us, I think is going to be really great. A great basketball mind, somebody that had actually called quite a few of my college games. So being able to build that relationship with her and just be in the gym and work on things that she probably saw when I was a freshman in college and was like, oh, that girl still can't make a left-handed layup. We're still working on that, but no, it's just exciting times. And I think you look around the WNBA and that goes for, all 13 teams now. And, there's real trade and there's real activity and there's fun free agency to follow. And that's what's making people so excited about it. That's going to attract more people to our league is you get to follow these storylines. So it's really exciting and I'm, looking forward to next year.
There you go. Yeah, Caitlin knows how to handle the media. That's for sure. Right. So she knows how to just talk for a bit there without saying much, but making it clear what she's thinking. Dude. CC retirement ceremony is after the game. Game starts in 20 minutes. Thank you. The pregame is apparently on. Why can't you picture DB and CC in the same locker room? What's weird about it? Honestly, I really, what's weird? It's a dead serious question. I don't understand what's weird. Caitlin Clark, from all accounts, is a tremendous teammate. Obviously, is a once in a lifetime player. Makes everybody better. Brings everybody more attention. DeWanna Bonner is a proven winner and an absolute pro, and fits Clark's game perfectly. I honestly, I don't understand how that could possibly be an issue for anybody. As Brett adds, they're both pros. I don't see an issue. Yeah, I didn't even, was there ever, Bonner paid Clark a lot of respect last year in that playoff series, by the way. A. Prey says, wow, I'm shocked Bonner didn't go with Thomas. Yeah, I mean, that was the initial statement, but if you look at it from a personnel standpoint, it makes sense, right? It makes sense. Because they have Kalia Copper basically in her spot. And they got players at her position. So you got 2 4s with Sabali and Thomas, essentially, and a 3 in Copper. It's not that much room for Bonner. Like, subscribe, all those good things. All right, I'll give me another minute or two, but I do have to get rolling. I wanted to fire up this machine for a quick live, considering everything that took place today. But wow, what a free agency period for the Indiana Fever. Angela says Copper was teaching Reese how to do the mic and drill. Yeah, I was happy to see that. Brian Duncan says, I want to give Reese her props as a rebounder. She's very good at, she's unbelievable at that. Dragon Ball Z podcast says Fever should trade Lexi. I don't know about that. I mean, I think Lexi's perfect off the bench in the 6-7 spot. Chris Ward adds Bonner wants another ring. Lisa says, thanks. Great conversation. Hoops for Life says, is there another free agent the Fever should go after in your opinion? I mean, I just don't know if they have any more money. I don't know who, you know. I'd have to look at their situation, but I can't see them having much more money. Ghost of Gibraltar says, when I want my whole hot takes, I go to the Dragon Ball Z podcast. There you go. I mean, I just don't think they have many more holes left to follow up on those comments. The team is pretty stacked. I mean, I think that's like why they made a move for Brown. All right, y'all. I will let you get to the CC retirement ceremony. Maybe I'll fire up another live tomorrow. You got about 90 seconds to get any likes, comments, subscribes in before I bounce for today. But I did want to hop on, let the fans get a chance to speak and air your thoughts on these various topics here today, but obviously mainly what the Indiana Fever did. But please like, subscribe, comment. I will get back to your chats if you comment after the fact. I do my best to do that. And until the next time, eat.